Just finished filing your taxes. Many of us did last week on the 15th, of course. And now the question is, come next year for the tax year 2024, could there be a bit of a tax break coming for Kansans? Dave Trabert, Kansas Policy Institute, is joining us on KCMO Talk Radio. Governor Kelly does have a tax relief bill on her desk. And Dave, where are we at on that thing right now?
Well, good morning, Pete. It's a little up in the air. Governor Kelly lobbied her own party in the House hard to vote for a very similar bill, but now she's saying, well, maybe I'll veto this because, and she gives a laundry list of reasons, and none of them hold water. It's almost as though she's trying to kind of negotiate in public for something else. We don't know what that is, but none of what she is saying about this tax bill makes sense. She says it's not, it's maybe too expensive. It's not. It's going to still leave a $2.5 billion surplus after 4 years. It's not too expensive to hand out billions of dollars to a handful of companies, like over $800 million alone just to Panasonic. How can that be affordable, but $98 to a taxpayer is too expensive?
That's a good point. So this, and we've talked about this bill a lot the last few weeks, but just to remind people, there are sales tax cuts in here related to groceries, or at least expediting that. There are also income tax cuts across the board, right? So it's a little bit of everything where everybody should be at least somewhat satisfied with this tax relief plan, and they were across the political aisle.
Well, it passed unanimously in the House. I can't recall a tax bill in any prior year, a tax bill of this magnitude passing unanimously in one chamber. It's just unheard of. Everybody knows we have the money. Everybody knows that Kansans are overtaxed. And yet we come down to these last-minute arm-twisting, what are we really trying to accomplish here? There's some great stuff in this bill. It eliminates the tax on Social Security income for every Kansan. That's something we've been pursuing that since 2021. The House and Senate both like the idea. It reduces income tax rates. There's a small property tax savings, as you said. It accelerates the elimination of the sales tax on food at the state level. There's some really great stuff in here.
Yeah, and that Social Security tax, that is so long overdue. If not, you got retirees bailing out of here as quickly as they can, which, Kansas is hemorrhaging residents as is. I know right here in Johnson County, we probably feel immune to that because of how quickly this county is growing. But Dave, you cover the state. Take us around the state. You are seeing loss of population in most corners of the state of Kansas right now. So hopefully Social Security taxes, getting rid of those at the state level, will at least help a little bit.
Well, yeah, and actually, Pete, things in Johnson County aren't as rosy as some local politicians would have you think. It's not bad yet, but give it time. Overland Park has had really slow. The year before, the city gained 4 people. 4.
Wait, in Overland Park in what, 22?
Yeah.
Who's living in all the damn apartments they're building at every street corner then?
Well, it's like a lot of these subsidies, Pete. It shifts economic activity. People move from one apartment complex to another. There's people coming in, but there's also people going out. This is one of the common problems with all these local government incentives. They want to look at who they can bring in the front door, and they refuse to pay attention to who's going out the back door. There are people, Johnson County has had a net loss of adjusted gross income from people moving in and out of the county, like 3 out of the last 5 years. That's IRS statistics. So Johnson County isn't feeling it like a lot of other parts of the state, but it's starting.
So you're saying some people with, I don't want to put people with who have resources, maybe looking at Miami County, Douglas County, places like that.
That's right.
Huh.
And other
Interesting.
states.
Yeah, and other states.
Other states as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Dave Trabert, Kansas Policy Institute, always informing us here on KCMO. Let's give credit where it's due. Kansas legislators, and you wrote about this at the Sentinel, Kansas legislators should follow the principled lead of these three Democrats. Who are they, and why are you giving them a lot of credit?
Because they are standing up and saying, I'm going to do what I think is right, even if I'm not reelected. You know, there's Marvin Robinson in Wyandotte County here in Kansas, Jason Hughes in Louisiana, and Mesha Maynor in Georgia. All three have gone against the party mandate, and it's, you know, these are really bold people. Hughes just gave a great speech in Louisiana supporting choice.
This is all about, it's all about school choice. Is that the issue, that they're all standing on school choice?
It's all about school choice. It's saying I can no longer stand by while so many low-income kids are left trapped, unable to read and do math at grade level, while we say, no, we can't do that. We have to support the system. It's never about supporting students. And these people are standing up and saying, even if it means I'm not reelected, my conscience will be clear. I'm going to do what's right for students, because the system refuses. We have most Democrats won't, and a lot of Republicans won't do that. You know, it's like Thomas Sowell said, to understand politicians, you have to understand that for most of them, they're trying to solve their own problems. Number one is get elected. Number two is get reelected. And number three is kind of a distant thought. That's what we see.
Yeah.
We see all across Kansas, because some of them will come up, they'll at least be honest in private. They'll say, look, Dave, I'm with you. I understand this is needed, but if we vote for that, I won't be back. I'll get unelected, because the school people will come after me and they'll run someone against me. Well, that's okay. I get that. Yes, that will happen. But what you're saying is, it's better that we leave these kids trapped in schools where they will never get the education they need than for me to not be able to be a representative or a senator.
Listen, that guy Marvin Robinson in KCK, he has bucked his own party on, you know, the boys and girls sports thing, on school choice. He has been the bravest guy in all of Topeka on either side of the aisle, and it has been impressive to watch from afar. And it'll be quite a test this year to see if he's able to hang on to that seat. I think he's got the pulse of his constituents, but like you said, the big party donors aren't having it.
They are not. They, you know, it's, if you're in the Democrat Party, you do what you're told, or they will get rid of you. Yeah. They will go out of their way to get rid of you. And it's just, you know, that's just the way it is all across the country. Yeah. Republicans are a little more independent minded, but still, for a lot of them, getting reelected is the number one priority, and everything else is a distant thought.
It's so true. And you see that in D.C. and then at the local level as well. Dave Trabert, Kansas Policy Institute. Great job, Dave. We always appreciate your time.
Thanks, Pete. Have a good day.
You as well. Dave Trabert, Kansas Policy Institute, and the Sentinel. You can read them there every single day, sentinelksmo.org.